This Parashat Shemot, we are studying a new Sefer of Shemot. We finished Bereshit. Now we are starting Sefer Shemot. The first question is, why this Sefer is called Shemot? What does Shemot mean? Shemot means names. What does names mean? Always we have to name something. How come we name something names? It's very strange. Tell me what the name is. Why do you tell me names? Sefer is called names. What does that mean? How could we understand that the name of a Sefer to be names? Tell me what the name is, what's names? Now, Mefarshim say that this Sefer is a Sefer of building up Kahal Israel, formation of Am Israel, and that's a Sefer that talks about Kahal Israel, receiving Torah and receiving Shekhinah. Receiving Torah on Har Sinai and making the Mishkan and having Shekhinah among Kahal Israel. And that is the essence of the creation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem created all of His world for formation of Am Israel and having Torah. Bereshit, Bishvil Reshit. Reshit Tevato, Reshit Darko. The first fruit, which is Kahal Israel. Reshit Darko, first derech way, which is Torah. Therefore, all of the essence of the creation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu was for formation of Am Israel, and Am Israel should receive Torah and Shekhinah. Now, what does name mean? Name means essence. We know in Torah, when we say in Torah we say something is called Shulchan, the Shulchan is not just a symbolic to point out this object. Shulchan is the essence of this object. If you know Kabbalah, we could take out all of the characteristics of the table through the word of Shulchan. Now here, names are essences. Now this Sefer is called names because any name that's connected to the Sefer is the real name. Means it has a reality. Now anything that connects to Kahal Israel, formation of Kahal Israel, whatever it connects to Torah and connects to Shekhinah, then it has a real essence, it has a name. Something that's not connected to the Sefer, a cult, a philosophy, a movement. Doesn't have anything to do with the Sefer, doesn't have essence, doesn't have name. So that's why the Sefer is called names, because name is the essence, and any essence comes out from the Sefer. Because any name that you find that's not connected to the Sefer, that is not a real name. Now it says, Ve'ele Shemot ben Israel. Thank you. Ve'ele Shemot ben Israel. These are the names of Ben Israel. Habayim Israel, that came Israel. Et Yaakov ish beto ba'u. Yaakov ish, man, each man and his household, they came. Now, first is what's Vav? What's it Vav ve'ele? Why Vav? Before Shem say that the last Sefer talked about the Galut of Am Israel. And this Sefer is talking about the Geula of Am Israel. And this pasuk exactly we learned in Parashat Yash. And it's being repeated here to say that they're connected. By Ele Hadevarim, Sefer Devarim, that's a Ve'ele Ele Hadevarim. That's a new start, new chapter. Moshe Rabbeinu is reviewing all of the Torah. But here it's connected. Because the Geula and the Galut are connected. The Galut makes the Geula. Now in Kahal Israel, nothing is random. If we see that there is exile, the exile is to bring the Geula. That's why there's a Vav here. Now what's the Semichut of the Parashot? Last parasha we learned that Yosef died by Aaron in Mitzrayim. They put him in coffin in Mitzrayim, and it says Ele Shemot. From here we learn out that they should write the name on the coffin of a person, because the Zohar HaKadosh says that the name of a person has to be identified. That's why we have the custom that we put stone, we put matzeva on the kever, because matzeva is going to bring out the name of that person. That is from here. Ve'ele Shemot, Ben Israel, Habayim Israel, and Ve'esem Aaron. Aaron and Shemot is Semichut of the Parashot tells us that we should put a name on the coffin. That's why we wrote Matzeva, and we write the name clearly on the Matzeva. Ve'ele Shemot, Ben Israel. These are the names of Ben Israel. Now Rashi says, Afa b'Shemot b'Chayim, b'Shemotam chazamanon b'mitatam. Even though that he told us the name and their numbers by Chanehem, while they were alive, again he counts them in mitatam. Why? Why does he have to do it again? It's the same name, the same number. Lehodia chibatam, to inform their love. that are compared to the Kochavim stars, Shemot Machnesim, that they go out and they get in with numbers and with names. Shneimar, Hamotzi Isvar Sevam, Lekulam B'Shem Yichra. Because the apostle says, the apostle Yeshaya Hanavi says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes out the stars with the number of the name, Tanchuma Yashan. Now, with the new understanding of the galaxy, we understand this Chazal much better. When we say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes out with the name and with the count, because if you're on galaxy, you take out one star, what happens? All of the galaxy collapses. Because every star there has its own chashivu, has its own role, has its own essence, its own name and count. You cannot have one less. Now, the Hal Yisrael also, they are like stars, they are shining. And their shine is not just random. Their shine is a piece of a master plan of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that everybody has a name, everybody has a mission, has an essence. Mission in the Malchut of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Like Zohar HaKadosh says, all Hal Yisrael, they are like a crown for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and every member is a gem. Every member is a diamond on the crown. If we miss one, we miss the crown. Therefore, a king cannot put on a crown that some of the gems are missing. There were Shemot Israel. There are stars. Habayim Israel, they are coming, who are coming to Israel. The Midrash asks, what? Now, this day they are coming. They came a long time ago. The Midrash says no. They came. But when Yosef died, they felt that they came. Till now, they were in majesty of Yosef, they were in the authority of Yosef, everything was good, they didn't feel the exile. Once Yosef died, they felt that they come to Egypt. Et Yaakov. So, it says that everybody is coming et. Whenever that we use the word of et, means tafel. Now, the Midrash says, by going, while the father is young and children are younger, the children are tafel to the father. But what happens when the father gets old? He doesn't have kovach, doesn't have strength. Then the father becomes tougher to the children. Children, they deal with the father the way that they want to. They don't behave properly. They just, angry at them and they say that, you became old, you became stupid, whatever. But here, by the Halisah, it's not like that. Et Yaakov. Even though that Yaakov is an old man right now, but they were tougher to Yaakov. They carried the legacy of Yaakov. Even while Yaakov was an old man, everybody was tougher. They had such a reverence for Yaakov. Ish ubetobau, a man with his beto. What does beto mean? Beto means ishto. The Midrash says Yaakov made sure that all of the males should marry. They should marry that. Why? But because when they come to Mitzrayim, they shouldn't marry Egyptians, and they become assimilated through them. He felt that the marriage is very important. Beto. Now Yaakov is teaching us, what keeps us in Galut is Bayit, is a house. Somebody who has a wife, has a holy home, that's the survival of the Galut. Betubau. Yaakov made sure that everybody should have that home, Kadosh Dike home. Through that Kadosh Dike home, they kept themselves. Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda. Now we're going to go to the names. Names first said the names of Leah. Now Reuven first, because even though Reuven lost the Bechorah, but giving him respect of calling him first, he didn't lose that. Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Sachar, Zebulun, that are children of Leah. Then goes Binyamin, the child of Rachel. Child of Rachel was born the last one. Now Binyamin, why Binyamin is here? Yosef is the end. Why Binyamin is here? Now if you count Binyamin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Binyamin as the seventh child here has been counted. The Varshim say, why? Because Binyamin, you have 7 continents. There are 7 continents that now 3 on left side, 3 on right side, and the 7th one is the middle, which is Eretz and Bet HaMikdash. Bet HaMikdash is Tabur Shel Ulam. Bet HaMikdash is the middle of the earth. Therefore, 7th one is Binyamin, which is in portion of Binyamin we have Bet HaMikdash. Dan and Naphtali are the children of the Shivcha of Rachel. Gad and Asher are the children of the Shivcha of Leah. And it was all of the nefesh that came out from the loins of Yaakov, Shiv'im nefesh, 70 souls. Yosef hayom Mitzrayim, and Yosef hayom Mitzrayim. Now there are nefesh yotzei Yaakov. It came out from Yaakov, Shiv'im nefesh. That's the nefashot, says nefesh, because Sadiqim, all of them under one flag is one soul. There are 70, but they are one soul because they have the same goal, the same accomplishment. But by Esav, it says nefashot. Because over the Avodah Zarah, they are going after their taiva, after their desire. Their desire makes them to be different from each other. It's very interesting. If you have a friend, it's Yareh Shamayim, friendship stays well. If somebody is not Yareh Shamayim, then friendship doesn't stay. Why? Because he has a desire that's against you, or it's a wrong desire. If there is no Yirat Shamayim, he's going to practice it, and it would lose the friendship. A little bit greedy about money, a little bit jealousy. But somebody who is a Yareh Shamayim and he works on himself, he has a lot of friends. That's Chazal tell us. Therefore, here Shivim, they are one soul. By Esav, they are fewer, less than the Hal Israel, but they are nefashot. Because each one of them is a nefesh for itself. Because once the taiva and the desire overcomes, each person is an individual for himself. It's very interesting yesod in life. Yosef Hayom Mitzrayim. Now Rashi says, Yosef Hayom Mitzrayim, v'halu b'anav hayu b'chlai shivim. Ma b'alam edenu bino, v'chlo inu yodim shayom Mitzrayim. We know that is right. Elo lo diachal sidrato shel Yosef. He wants to teach you this righteousness of Yosef. That's what? Who Yosef Haretzon Aviv, who Yosef Shayom Mitzrayim. Now the word Yosef Hayom Mitzrayim means that Yosef that was a shepherd for his father was the same Yosef that was in Mitzrayim. He didn't change. A lot of times people that they come out from the yeshiva, they find a job. The yeshiva tells them, take a picture of yourself while you came out. A month later, take a picture. 3 months later, take a picture. 6 months later, take a picture. And compare the notes. Your shirt, your clothing, your eyeglasses, the style of the hair, your cell phone, everything, and take a picture with the cell phone, right? Very good. The person comes out, but Yosef Hayom Mitzrayim. That's the good of Yosef.
No, in 70 by Yosef,
70 by Yosef.
By Yosef.
Not by Yaakov. Including Yaakov.
Hello, who bana? Why you bechol Hashem? Right, who bana? Right, Nimam says right.
No, Yosef Nitzan.
What? No, but Yosef Masa. How much? Hello, what's the pshat of 70? What's the pshat of 70? We said that. The Zohar HaKadosh says the person has 70 kochot inside. There are 70 kochot power in a person. Now we have, according to that, we have 70 children of Kahal Israel that are going to Mitzrayim. We talked about the last letter in Sefer Bereshit is Mitzrayim. Why the last letter is Mitzrayim? Because Mitzrayim is like a womb. Like a womb that the child grows there. Here also, in Mitzrayim, 70 nefashot form the Hal Israel. Now there are 70 nefashot, 70 kochot, and contrasting to that, we have 70 nations. That each nation would contrast to one of their children. Now, why Yosef was said last one? Parshim say why? Because that's the derech of Sadiqim. Because Yosef was higher one in Darga of Kedusha and higher in Darga of Ma'ala and the prestige. But if you give Ma'ala and you give Darga to you make a Sadiq high position in the Ruchniot and Gashmiot, he makes himself more humble and more humble. On the contrary of the Goyim, right? Trump and the contrary of the Goyim, they get more kavod and more prestige, they lose themselves. But here, Yosef Hayom Mitzrayim, Yosef gets the kavod and honor, and he humbles himself. That the true leader is that the more kavod and respect we give to him, the more humble he gets. But when you give kavod and respect to a leader or somebody in charge of something and becomes more arrogant, that's not a good sign. Yosef died, and then brothers and all of the Dor Ha'u means Shivim Nefesh, Ubnei Israel, Paro Avraham, Bnei Israel were fruitful, and increased greatly, multiplied, became mighty, exceedingly so, and filled the land with them. Now, why say Yosef? Because Yosef died before all of his brothers. Even though that Yosef was younger, Yosef lived only 110 years, and the brothers lived longer, all of them. Now, why? Why Yosef should live less? First, Gemara in Berachot says, Rabbanut, somebody who's in charge, somebody who's a boss in charge, he lives less. Rabbanut mekaberet et ba'aleha. Rabbanut puts in grave somebody who owns Rabbanut. That is Yosef here, because because once somebody is in charge, right, there's this stress, or in a way, once you are in charge, you feel you have some shtickle thing that you feel you are in charge. Hashem says, okay, if you are in charge, I let you be in charge. Beautiful. Because Yosef says, Ani mechalkel etchem. He told the brothers, I sustain you. I give you food. I give you parnasa. Hashem says, okay, let's see what happens. You're going to die and they're going to be alive. Let's see who gives them food. Third reason is because when the brothers were talking to Yosef, they say, Avdecha Avinu, your servant, our father. And that was disrespect to the father because they called the father your servant. And you should have stopped him and said, no, please don't call it Avdecha, I don't want. But he didn't stop. Because of that, 10 years from his life was short. Now, the Farshim say, if you count in the Torah, it's only 5 times. Why 10 years? It should be 5 years. He said, no, 5 times he said, and 5 times was translated. It becomes 10 years was this. Fourth reason say that because Chantu, in other words, Chanat Aviv, because he emblamed his father, therefore that caused, that wasn't right. Chacham, they admonish him, because the misrim, they had to be done like that, because the stream, the goof is tameh, and becomes warm, would be rolled over, shorter than it. But by Yaakov, that his goof was pure, nothing would have happened. Therefore, you shouldn't have done that. Therefore, some Mepharshim say because of that. Now, Torah is very interesting here. Vayomot Yosef, v'chol Echa, v'chol Adaru, v'yom Israel. Now, the Or HaCharim HaKadosh says that here Torah is saying as the Sibat Galut. Galut happened in 4 stages. First stage, Vayomot Yosef. Yosef died, and we didn't have that vice president to be a Jew. That started the Galut. Then the brothers died. That made the Galut even deeper. Then Kol Ador Shivim Nefesh. And then Bnei Israel, they lost themselves. In other words, if Yosef would have been, would be less. If brothers, and if Bnei Israel would stay Bnei Israel, the Galut would have been much less. Because Chacham, they tell us that really Yaakov was supposed to go to Galut through chain. They had to chain Yaakov and they send him to Galut. What made it not to be chained? Zechut Karmanu. No, there is a decree on a person. The decree is has to be good to Galut. But they don't say how. In other words, it could be with the majesty and kavod with Yaakov or with chain. Now, since Yosef and Yaakov, they had the zechut, they turned over that decree with the majesty. Now, Bnei Israel, Paru Vaishesu, they say God increased, Vaishesu Sheretz. What does Sheretz mean? Sheretz means the very low animal that are very low and creeping animals that are very low and disgusting. Therefore, they say that Halisrael became disgusting. How did they become disgusting? They acted like goyim. They went to the places that the goyim go, the circuits, and they became modern like the goyim. Therefore, because of that, the Galut started. Now, the Midrash says that Yosef died, all of the brothers died, even though that met Yosef v'achiv, Elohehem lo met. If Midrash would not have said it, I wouldn't say it. Elohehem lo met. Their God didn't die. Not everybody could die that we rely on. Elo ben Israel paru eshesu. When Obama made the last thing that he made, and he said that Israel has to give back everything that he had from before, Rabbi Yosef, Yitzchak Yosef, the son of Rabbi Yosef, Yitzchak Yosef, Levychaim, he said that, the apostle says that, Yosef dies, brothers die, we can't rely on anybody. We can't say that, we can rely on Pentagon, we rely on World Trade Center. All of them are gone, but the Elohehem lo met. Therefore, that's a midrash over here, that, even though that what we can't rely on anybody except HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Therefore, all of them become nitchalek or not. The midrash says, when Israel paru, is it possible that just little bit shveishesu, they became like a worm that comes a lot together? No, maybe they are worms that are very weak. They don't have koma, vayirbu. They had koma. They had height. No, they have a height that they are weak, vayatzmu. They are listening. Maybe they are good for olam hazeh, they are good for olam haba. Me'od b'olam hazeh, bim'od b'olam hazeh, me'od olam haba. That's a lashon of midrash to bring out all of these nekudot here. V'yaqom melech chadash al Mitzrayim, and there was a melech chadash, a new king on Mitzrayim.
New king and the son.
Now it's very interesting. I think that you're going to enjoy that. That Rabbi Levychaim, in one of the Varshim says that if you take the first letter of all of the Shevatim, first letter, let's say Reuben 200,000, Shimon 300,000. If you count all of the letters together, the beginning of the letters, the numbers becomes 597,000.
Gematria?
Right. 597,000. In other words, from 6,000, 3,000 is missing, and these 3,000 are those that they died in Chet Egel. Very interesting gematria. In other words, if you count the gematria of the Rashi Tevot of all of the Shevatim and add them together, it becomes.
Only the 12 Shevatim or all the 7?
No, only 12 Shevatim. The 12 Shevatim, if you add them together, they're going to become 597. That right, 600,000 they have to be. Now 3,000 is missing. That's very interesting gematria. That's one of the Farshim says. ויאמר רמו, ויאמר מלך חדש על מצרים, מלך חדש גדל במצרים, אשר לא ידע את יוסף, that he didn't know Yosef. Now the Farshim say this Rashi, ויאמר מלך חדש, רב שמואל, חד אמר חדש, من باشه خد من شده شو گذاشته. אשר לא ידע, اصلا اسمه کی לא یدع. In other words, it's a machloket that what does ויאمر ملך خدش doesn't say ויاموت, it says ויאمر. What does ויאمر means that he got up new king in it. Therefore, one says Chadash means Chadash Mamash, a new king. One says no, the decree became new. I'm saying, Ashra died Yosef. That he didn't know. But how could not Yosef? Everybody knew about Yosef. He made himself not to know Yosef. Now, what's the machloket that there was a Melech Chadash or the old king? The machloket, what Salam al-Mufashim say, machloket is that how much a person could be that he doesn't show gratitude. He's so low that he doesn't have gratitude. Now the one Mefarish says it was the same person, and he was so wicked that he shows so much not gratitude to Yosef and what Yosef did for them. But the other Mefarish says no, it can't be the same, because the Ben Adam cannot be in that level that should have so much, not having gratitude so much to bond that he saved the country, made the country to be what it was. And all of the kings of Canaan, they put their money there, investment and everything. He did, and that's why there's a machloket, that's the Melech Hadash or the old king. But anyway, the Midrash says the one is kofe b'turato shel chavero, finally would be kofe b'turato shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Somebody who denies the goodness of his friend, finally would deny the goodness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Here, Paro is the one that said that I don't know Yosef. Later on, when Moshe Rabbeinu goes to him and says Hashem wants his nation, he says, who is Hashem? I don't know Hashem. Once you do say that I don't know the person, you say I don't know Hashem. Therefore, once a person is not the Makir Tov, doesn't have the Hakarat Tov. Now, all of the world are depending on Hakarat Tov. Hakarat Tov is the most important thing, and Chazal here admonish Paro that didn't have Hakarat Tov. Vayomer Rama in Torah's nation, in Am Ben Israel, in the nation of Israel, Rabbi Atzor Menu, they are increased and they are stronger than us. And he told his nation, in Am Ben Israel, the first person that he said, Israel, they are Am, is Paro. Paro is saying to his nation like this, that first of all, why does he have to talk to his nation? He could do whatever that he wants. He's the ruler. He's the empire. Now it's a policy comes in here. He knew that people would against him. People would say, even politicians might understand, but some people would make revolution against him. What are you doing to Yosef? Yosef helped us so much. But what do? You make them involved. He talked to the nation, and he said, I understand that we should be, but what do you think? If let's come and think about it. Maybe less the increase, and if any war happens to us, that's going to happen. Why? Because we got all of the money of Malchei Canaan in the famine years. They're not going to sit down, they're going to come and fight with us. And they're going to join also to our enemies. And they're going to fight against us, and they go up from the land. And they put on him the officers of the tax. Therefore, the first thing that they said, let's go, and what do you do? We're going to put tax on them. Money. First money. No, what's the point of money? They put tax on them in order to afflict them with their burdens. Why? Because somebody who is burdened and he doesn't have serenity, he doesn't have the kovach to produce. And they should build up the cities of Miskenot treasure for Paro at Pitom et Ramses. These two cities of Pitom and Ramses. Now there are different midrashim. What's Pitom and Ramses? One midrash says Pitom and Ramses was built on sand. You build it and get destroyed. You build it and destroyed. And that's the avodat parech. In avodah, that you don't see the fruit, that breaks the goof of a person. Some say Miskenot. What does Miskenot mean? Treasure. It's storage. Is storage. Now, what is it? In other words, life is avdut. A person chooses to be Eved of Hashem or Eved of Paro. What does Paro wants us to do? Paro wants us to store. Why Paro is so much interested that we should store? Because once we store, why are we storing things? Because we don't need them. Therefore, Paro makes us work for something that you don't need. Why? Because once you work for something that you don't need, it takes away from Avodat Hashem. If you do just whatever that you need, you have plenty of time to do Avodat Hashem, to learn, to do whatever that you have to do. But once we get you in the idea of storing, we are getting you. Therefore, that is Avodim of Paro. Paro, Zohar HaKadosh says, Paro is Pera'ah. Paro is the mouth of Ra, wickedness, evil. It's the mouth of evil. Therefore, that mouth of evil tries to do what it could, take away people from Avodat of Hashem. And that's the job of Moshe. Moshe is to bring out the person from Avodat Paro to Avodat Hashem, from Metzarim. What does Metzarim mean? Metzarim means borders. What does Paro do? Paro puts a person in a border. He says that you can't go, you can't move, you have to do this. No, Moshe Rabbeinu is the one who takes us all from these borders, Metzarim. So that is the thing that Paro does. Paro makes a surrounding for us and he says, you can't keep Al-Chodashun. How could you keep Al-Chodashun in Los Angeles? Is it possible? How could you keep your eyes Kadosh in Los Angeles? Is it possible? It makes a surrounding that you should say, yes, you could become Eved of Paro. Or, how could you be honest with your business? It's Los Angeles. Moses is Moses, business is business. That makes a surrounding for a person. That this is the way, everybody does that, everybody eats this. Wow, how come it's not kosher? Everybody eats it, everybody is doing that. Everybody is doing that, that's it's of power. Therefore, the person is learning the parashiyot is that we have to kick out ourselves from Mitzrayim. Moshe Rabbeinu takes us out from the Abdud of Paro to Eved of Hashem. And whatever that they were afflicting him, they were increasing and becoming more. That's the way that works. The more pressure they put, like the olives, the more press the Hal Israel, it becomes more pure and more pure, like olives.
More light.
More pure. The oil becomes by Israel, and they will become discarded from Israel. They got increased. No, that was the first thing, money. Second, they came and they were mishabed bekuf. They enslaved the Mitzrayim with Bnei Israel before. In other words, it doesn't say Paro, it says Mitzrayim. It means all of the Mitzrayim. If a Mitzrayim needed a job to be done here, Jew, come, do this. Take my garbage. Dig here, do this, do that. And they had to do it. Befarech means with the crushing labor. Now, Parech has also said Perach. Why was it Perach? Per mouth, Rach soft. Because Paro was very gentle. Paro was a very big politician. Paro told them first, come and work. And for whatever bricks that you make, I give you gold coin. And everybody came on board and he gave. He kept his promise. Reuben, 100. Shemot, 70. God, 120. He wrote everybody down and said from now on, everybody has to do the same thing. Very strange. Very interesting. Why did he do that? Because he wanted to see how much power they have. By Marur Chayim, they built their life by Avodah Kasha. With the hard work, the homer, with the mortar, with the bricks, all of the laborers in the field, all of the laborers that they made them to work with the harshness, crushing harshness. Yomer, very good. Therefore, they tried, first tried the money, didn't work, then they tried the goof, to take the goof, and still didn't work. Now they're going to make a new strategy to destroy them. Now, the Midrash says, "Vaymaru Chayehem." They lay made the phrase "Bavodah Qasha." Qasha ze hekesh, Chomer ze qalba Chomer, Levenim ze binyan av. These are the things that we learn in this Gemara. We learn Drasha Balpeh. There are techniques of making drasha. One is the hekesh, comparing the nose, qalba Chomer, light and heavy, Levenim binyan av. Now the Midrash says like this. What's the point of this Midrash? What's the Midrash saying? The Midrash is saying unbelievable yesod in life. The Midrash is saying before Matan Torah to make the tikkunim and the tikkunim that they did Chal Israel in Mitzrayim, the hardship of Avodah, the Zohar HaKadosh says it's because of Adam Rishon. Adam Rishon was without wife for many years, and according to those years they had to do this Avodah to be metaken the chet of Adam Rishon. Now before Matan Torah, to make the tikkun of a chet, you have to go through Yisurim. You have to have avodah kasha, hard work, mortar, bricks. After Matan Torah, we don't need avodah kasha. We need the hekesh. We need the qalba chomer. We need the binyan av. Once the person breaks his mind in Torah and he doesn't go to sleep, he takes away from sleep, from eating, and he learns Torah. Learning Torah would take place of the greatest Yisurim in life. That's why a lot of people are against Ta'anitim and this type of things, because they say instead of fasting, learn Torah, because Torah is the remedy for everything. In other words, this is in this Midrash is clearly. Before Matan Torah, for Tikkunim, we need the Isurim, we need Avodah Kasha, Chomer Benim. But after Matan Torah, we don't need these things. Torah, Avodah Kasha, Hekesh, you break your head to understand the piece of Gemara. You break your head to understand Qalba Chomer. You break your head to understand Binyan Av. That in itself is Mechaper. No, the question is what HaKadosh asks. How come we had to become slave of Paro? What's the point of becoming slave? You know, Torah, there's nothing negative. Everything is positive. Believe it or not, the Zohar HaKadosh says that Paro was a university to teach us how to be Eved of Hashem. We learned from Paro how to be Eved Hashem. How? First of all, Paro told the person, each person, how much you could work with the gold coin. And he took out the potential of each person. Therefore, first yesod is Avodat Hashem. You cannot do half job. Half davening is not a davening. Half learning is not a learning. If somebody is doing Avodat Hashem, he has to put all of his kochot. Half doing the job is not half. Half taking care of your wife, taking your children is not a job. A person has to use all of his kochot, all of his power. Once a person uses all of his kochot and power, like Levychaim says, when we have a mitzvah to do, Levychaim says, don't think it's a mitzvah. Think it's something yashmut. Think you have an appointment to make thousands of dollars. Think that you're going to do this. Then you have energy, power. But otherwise, you say, I don't have power, I can't. Therefore, first yesod that we learned from Paro gave them gold coin, that Avodat Hashem like big gold coin. Person has to live with full kovach, full power. If a person does halfway, doesn't work. That's why they say, what's the greatest fruit that has the greatest fruit, and the production is the greatest? Grape. If you notice, the tree of the grape doesn't have trunk. You have to make a frame for it. Now why? Because this tree gave all of their power to the fruit. That's why the fruit is the best fruit. Therefore, when you give all of your power, you create the best fruit. In business, in this. Remember that Rav Yaakov Kamenetsky told those that they were learning Mishnah Berurah in math class, he told them, you are wrong, don't learn Mishnah Berurah on the table while you are in math. When you are in math, you have to put all of kochot in math. When you are in chemistry, when you are doing business, all of your kochot in business. Somebody was saying that, when I'm doing something gashmiut, I'm lazy, I don't have the result. Something that takes 1 hour, 2 hours, 3, 4 hours, why should by mitzvah I'm zaris? Rosh Yeshiva said, no, you're wrong. You have to be zaris even by gashmiut. Why? Because something that takes 2 hours, don't spend 4 hours. Do it 2 hours and learn 2 hours. Do a mitzvah, do a chesed. Therefore, a person has to use all of his kochot. Now, the other thing that you learn from Paro is very important is, Paro said, Fill it up, make it empty. Fill it up, make it empty. Build this building and then destroy it. Now the question is, why? Why should you tell them that make it and destroy it, make it and destroy it? In other words, we think that Mabudat Tariq, to break the goof of a person. But Mefarshim say no, it's something different. What's the point? The point is, why does it break a person? Why? Why does it break a person? Because the person sees that there's no fruit. There's no fruit here. Once you see that there's no fruit, that breaks a person. But Paro taught them, no, you are mistaken. There is a fruit here. Do you know what's a fruit? You listen to me. Listening to Paro is the greatest fruit in life. A lot of times we don't realize. A lot of times we don't realize. We think that, the greatest fruit is the fruit that we want. That's wrong. The greatest fruit is when you listen to somebody. Imagine, I say like this, that's true in every type of relationship. Imagine you go shopping with your wife. Somebody goes shopping with his wife, he has to travel 2 hours, and he has to stay there, wait on, how many hours? 2 hours that she should buy, and 1 hour back, coming back, he says, she all of a sudden says, honey, I want to tell you something. Please don't get mad at me. And he understands what's coming up. Right, and she says that, I want to go and return it back. Somebody was telling me that the only question that he has, who should he kill first? That was the question that he asked. No, the question is that, see what's happening here. Why does a person get angry? Why does a person gets mad? Because he feels that he doesn't have fruit. There's no fruit. But that's wrong. That's stupidity. What's the cover? It's stupidity. Because you did whatever that you had to do. Your job was to make your wife happy. And you made her happy. Now imagine, person gets angry. Now he spent the time, he spent the money that they went, and at the end he got angry also. It ruined everything. But the point is that you did your fruit. The fruit is to make somebody happy, and you made him happy. A lot of times they say on Sunday, you spend time with your kid. Your kid wants this and that. You feel useless because you want to do your own things, and then you get angry and mad at him. But you have to understand, no, just the opposite. The fact that you listened to him, the fact that you did whatever that he wanted, that in itself is the greatest gift that you could give to somebody. A lot of times you want to spend time with somebody, you want to do a favor to somebody, you want to impose on him. You want to do it the way that you want. And you think that's a gift to him. That's wrong. Paro told us, don't make such a mistake. With HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for sure don't make such a mistake. Hashem, you have to listen. Don't make homework for Hashem. Let him make homework for you. Somebody was very depressed. Bachur came to Rosh Hashiva, Rabbi Weinberg, told him that I'm very upset and depressed. He said, why? He said that my parents came out from Iran. I don't get to my Seder and I can't get to my davening. Shabbat, I was in hospital. I didn't have Shabbat. I was in the yeshiva. Everything was fine. I was learning, growing. Weinberg told him, what are you talking about? You want to be Oved yourself or you want to be Oved Hashem? If you want to be Oved yourself, then you make homework for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you want to serve Hashem, then you listen to the homework that Hashem has for you. Whatever that the homework is, doesn't make a difference. Somebody who's working, somebody is doing something, taking out his parents like a Kohen Gadol, but HaMikdash is doing the Avodah. Because that is Ratzon of Hashem, this is Ratzon of Hashem. It doesn't make a difference. Therefore, Paro was the best university that we should learn what does Avodat Hashem mean. 2 nekudot. One nekuda is that Avodat Hashem is, the first nekuda is that the person has to work full power. Don't be lazy. Even your business. Don't be lazy. Pick up, do. Use your time. Don't let the time be wasted. Don't kill time. Time is investment. It's a life. Person I gave it to person have to use. That Paro taught us. The other thing is, Paro taught us the best slave is not a slave full of fruits. The best slave is a slave who listens, who takes the direction and listens and makes them make homework for the master. He listens to the homework of the master. To the midwives, Hebrews, one is Shifra, therefore first money, then there was a Shibud Akuf, slavery, then killing. Both didn't work, now we have to kill them. Now how should we kill them? Pharaoh is a big politician. He understands that if he gets a sword and kills them, he's a great empire. He did it. He could do it. But he knows that all of the nation would be against him. And therefore, what does he do? He gets the midwives. Nobody will understand. When you give birth to the women, you should see on a birth stool. In Benhu, if there's a son, kill him. If the other is Malak. Midrash says Pharaoh was a shoter, was dumb. Why? Because if you want to destroy the Halisrael, you have to destroy the daughters. Because whoever is born from a Jewish mother is a Jew. But they were afraid of Levychaim. We also didn't do and they let them be alive. But Techayena means not only they didn't kill them, they gave them life. Midrash says how they gave them life. At this point, Shifra and Pua. Who are the Shifra and Pua? Shifra is the one who makes the child clean. Pua is the one that makes noise and makes the child laugh and be entertained. That's Yocheved and Miriam. What do you think? Here we should talk about Yocheved and Miriam, or we should say Shifra and Pua, new names to them. Why are we giving names? The Sefer Shemot, the Sefer of names. Why do we give new names to them? We should say Miriam, Yocheved. We should say this is the Yocheved. This is the mother, the wife of Avraham, mother of Moshe Rabbeinu, and Miriam, the sister. That prestige, those two ladies, prestige ladies that you have in the community. Now Torah wants to tell us the kavod and prestige of a lady is not with her name, it's not with the prestige that they carry. It's being shifra and pua. Clean the lady and take care of the baby. Clean the baby and take care of the baby. This is the kavod. This is the thing. The honor of Miriam and Yocheved is not the fact that's a mother of Moshe Rabbeinu or the wife of the Gadol Ador or the sister of Moshe Rabbeinu or the Malchut. What they made them to be what they are because they understood their job, Shifra and Pua. No, what was the fila that they made? They have to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that they should be survived. Pharaoh should not kill them. But they daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they said to the Midrash. The Midrash says they daven to Hashem and they say HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There is a percentage of the babies that they die normally, naturally. Please, at this season, nobody should die. Why? Because anybody dies is a very great Chilul Hashem. They might think that we killed him, that we should save our life. And it's asur. We cannot kill another baby to save our life. They were daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that is about Techayena Etayiladim. They daven that all of them should be Chay. Vayiram Levychaim Lemedod, Mirastaim Kadim Lemedod, Vayom Elohim, Matu Asitem Adavaz. Why do you do this? Techayena, and they kept alive the boys. They are not like Misrim priests. They are expert in birth. Very interesting. Jewish ladies are experts, but the Midrash says they are like an animal mamash. Like the father told them they are like lion, this and that. What does it mean? Animal doesn't need midwife. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu made in the nature in a way that they could give birth. Otherwise they cannot. That's the nature. Now, human beings, they know how to take care of themselves. They should take care of themselves. Now, but if somebody is B'tiyach b'HaKadosh Baruch Hu, somebody makes himself like an animal, he understands that here what we do means nothing, everything is in your hand, then we're going to become like animals also. There is the supervision of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to make sure that the birth and the delivery should go well. That's why the Midrash says, Ki chayot taka. They are in the hand of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. No, animals are product of nature. And nature makes give birth without any help. Human beings, usually they need help. But those who are b'teyach b'HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they become like animal. And Hashem would take care of them in a very natural way. Before that, the midwife comes to them, they're going to give birth. Hashem was good to these midwives, and the nation becomes multiplied and became mighty exceedingly. When the midwives, they were afraid from God, but Hashem made them batim. Rashi, what does batim mean, Rashi? See here, we said that the Shemot is Sefer of essences. What's the first story by Shemot? Miriam and Yocheved, they give over themselves. You want to have essence in your life, you have to give over yourself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. when you give over to something, by nature means you are destroying yourself. But they did that. Hashem gave them betei kehuna, levia malchut. Kehuna levia from Yocheved.